Okay, so I have set it to record now, so it should be good. Okay, you'll notice it. So what you might see in your screens on the corner of your screens now is it might be indicating to you that this is being recorded. I don't know if you noticed that on your end, but on my end, I'm seeing that. It's
Thank
telling
you.
me you got it, no problem. And what'll happen, Regina, is I'll post this as a link that you can access. It goes into the
Yeah, 'cause I
class.
have to practice. This gives me my most problems to Excel.
I understand. I understand. All right. So that takes care of that question. Let's go back to the assignment again. Let's go over here and see. Okay. With some of these other questions that we had, is there something else you'd like to ask me about? Anyone like to go over a particular problem? So it sounds like and no one's asking me anything, but I'll just make a couple of quick comments. In a problem like 108 here, if you take, it says right here, if the score 84 was added to the distribution, what would happen? So the thing that you should notice is that I originally had an average of 81 and a standard deviation of 9. The mean is the center of the data. So if I add a score like 84 to this list, since it's above the mean, it's going to pull the mean up. So the mean has to increase. That's why choices D and E are out right away. So you're not going to use those. And then secondly, standard deviation measures the distance that numbers are typically from the mean, or the average distance to the mean. Since the number we're adding 84 is only 3 away from the mean of 81, it would bring the standard deviation down, because that 9 is supposed to represent sort of like the average distance back to the mean. And we're adding a number to the list that's closer to the mean than 9. So therefore, we end up with a smaller standard deviation. Make that comment. BD and Q1, IQR and range. We did all that last time. And do you think there was an outlier? So quick comment about outliers, just so you know, when you test for outliers, you want to know if X is less than Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, or X is greater than Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So if X is in either one of those sets, then you would have an outlier. I haven't looked through Canvas yet to see if any of you submitted this, but in this problem, so let's go back to that question for a second. If I look at this question here, where are we? So I'll do that. Did you guys get the IQR? Anybody get an answer for the IQR in Q1 and Q3? I'll be willing to just share it, even if it's not right. It's not the end of the world. Okay, I mean, we could talk about this. Maybe we should do that. So give me a second while I just copy that into the notes for us here. And I will do that. Bear with me for 1 minute. Okay. Okay, I was just getting a new, I had to use my snipping tool to get this into my notes. Okay, cool, that worked. So I'll share this with you in a second. We'll be good. Okay, Let's see what we got. All right, so there you are. Now you can see the problem. And let's take a look at it. So one of the things we want to do is find the median. So they're kind of nice to us here. They're letting us know that there are 50 states mentioned in this question, right? They're telling us that. So, one second here. 50 states, that's what they tell us. So we know that the halfway through 50 are the numbers 25 and 26. So you need to find the 25th and the 26th number, and those would be my median. So I'm going to start counting. Just count from the top or the bottom. I think I'll start from the bottom here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting the threes here. I'm starting in that first row. I have a little bit of a lag on my end, so it's a little bit disconcerting for me. Sorry about that. So 1, then 2, 3, 4. 4 threes, and then what do we have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, major technical issues today. Sorry. Let's see if we get that to work again. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So the 26 number is a 28, and then the number before it was a 27. So those are our two numbers, 27 and 28. And I guess I don't know if we talked about this last time, but what do you do to get the median if you have two numbers that are the same? Or two numbers in the middle, I should say. Okay, well, you average them. So we take 27 plus 28 and we divide it by 2. So we'll get 27.5 is our median. Okay, so that's the median. And now what we want to do is find Q1. So Q1 would be the median of the lower half of the data. And so what we just said is that this number here, this 7 is the 25th number. And halfway to 25 would be the numbers 12 and 13, right? Because 25 is not even, so we would count numbers again here. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the 12 and the 13th number are 4 and 4. And the average of 4 and 4 is going to be 4. So now we know that Q1 equals 4. We have that the median is 27.5. We need Q3. So to get Q3, that's the median of the upper half of the data. So just so we're clear, I did a lot of writing on this. Let me just erase some of this stuff here, get it out of your way. And now what we can do is, oops, sorry, I meant to erase that. We're going to start at the 26th number, which is the upper half of the data. So it's that 8 right there is the 26th number. We're going to start there and count up to the 12th and 13th number. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it looks like we have an 11 and an 11 as my 12 and 13th score of the upper half of the data. So that means that Q3 in this case is 11. And that finally means that your interquartile range, IQR, is 11 minus 4 or 7. So that's what you have there. So that's your IQR. Your range is just your highest number minus your lowest number. In this case, the lowest number is a 3 and the highest number is at 55. So your range is 55 minus 3 or 52. Okay. Later on in the question, I ask if there's any outliers. So we have to go back and check this rule. Okay. So we just showed a moment ago by doing this math, that Q1 was 4 and the IQR is 7. So here we go. For this one, we're going to say is X less than Q1, which was 4, minus 1.5 times 7. And then for the second check, we would have is X greater than Q3, which I think was 11, if I'm remembering correctly. It was. Is it greater than 11 plus 1.5 times 7? So to save you some time, I'll type those things in my own calculator and we'll see what we get. So 4 minus 1.5 times 7. This is negative 6.5. And the lowest number in our data set was a 3. So there's no low outliers. That's what we say. On the upper hand, we're going to have 11 plus 1.5 times 7. And in that case, I'm getting 21.5. And so let's go back and look at the data and see if we have any numbers above 21.5. And we actually have quite a bit. You can see here. So the 27 is above that, 31, 14, and 55. So we can say, back here, we can say that, well, I'll just do the page. We said 27, I forgot what other numbers, 31 and 34, 31, 34, and 55 are all outliers. That's what we would say. And the reason they're outliers is because they were greater than 21.5, I believe. That was my check, right? Yep, 21.5. They were bigger than that number. All righty. So that's it. I mean, it seems to me like you're not asking me a ton about this homework, but I don't think it wasn't meant to be super tricky. It was meant to just get your mind thinking about statistics. Okay, great. Back in Canvas now. So let's go back to Canvas. We're going to look at the week 2 notes and see what we have. So here we go. We go to modules here. And we'll go down and we'll look at this document that says week 2 notes. That's what we're going to look at. Okay. It's going to be a link to a Google Doc. I would like you to try and access it, and let's make sure it's working for you. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're going to start talking about some probability and some ideas like that. This is going to set up nicely. I should ask, do I have any big sports fans in this course? Or no? You can say it out loud because I can't display the chat on the screen because everyone will see what you're saying to me. Any sports fans or no? Not really.
Go Kansas City.
Kansas. Okay, good luck.
Woo!
Oh, funny. How about you? How about you, Suzanne? Any sports you like or no? Or William? What do you think, William? We had a little bit of a glitch out there. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah, baseball.
Baseball. Okay, fine. Let's talk about statistics. Wow. I'm assuming you've seen the movie Moneyball, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of what do they call that? Sabermetrics? Is that what that study is called? Or
I mean,
is that something?
yeah, it's all right, I guess.
All right.
It works in certain situations, but
You just love the game, right?
yeah, I mean, I played it for my whole life, so yeah.
Really? You play for the team at the college there or not?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that's really exciting. That's good. I think I had a player a few semesters ago who was on that team. That's great. Okay. So let's take a look at this problem here. It says your professor, that's me, claims to be a 65% shooter from the foul line. Would that be good, you think, or not really? 65% from the foul line. I don't know. Let's just pretend it'd be okay.
No,
you-
it's not good.
It's not good. Who's saying it's not that good? Adriana,
I am, yeah.
do you like basketball, Adriana?
My favorite's baseball, but I kind of watch everything.
Really? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What do the good players do? Like, what's a good collegiate player do from the foul line? What percentage?
Around around high 80s is probably a decent one.
Wow. Okay. All right. Is that true also in the professional leagues? I guess they just get better, right? Because it's the same thing.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was talking about professional.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah, like a regular, like my like someone in college, that's not bad. 65 if they're in college.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, if you guys saw me, you'd realize I'm really short, so it wouldn't make any sense. That's 4. Okay. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to learn a little bit about statistics and how you test claims. And I'm using this example to do it. So notice how I'm making a claim here to be a 65% shooter from the foul line. So maybe, after meeting me, Jillian and Regina, Suzanne, Adriana, and Andrea would be like, you know what? I don't think that guy's a 65% shooter. I don't think he can do it. You might feel that way after you saw me and met me. I don't know why, but you just do. You look at me and you say, I don't think so. So what we can do is we can go down to the gym there at the school and you can make me take some shots. Now, I take 20 shots. Look at that second sentence there. I take 20 shots and I get 4 in. Would that make you doubt my claim of 65%? That's the question I'm asking. If I really am a 65, I'm saying I'm a 65% shooter. You certainly don't want to be mean to me or anything like that. So you decide to believe me. But we go down to the gym. I take 20 shots. I only get 4 in. Do you think that proves that maybe I'm lying about the 65%? What are your thoughts on the matter?
Yes,
Yes, Jillian. Now, why do you say that?
because you're only making 4 out of 20. That's like,
Not
is that,
65%.
20%?
That's right, 20%. Okay, I like that reasoning. Well, Jillian, I'm laughing because you said it very quickly. Very quickly, like, oh, that guy's definitely not telling the truth. What do you think, Adriana? What do you think of Jillian's reasoning?
No, I agree with her.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it sounds like good reasoning. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to find out, like, how likely is it for that to happen if I'm really a 65% shooter? Like maybe this, Jillian, I'm going to put this out there and you could say, no, I don't agree with that. And that's fine. Maybe even if I am a 65% shooter, maybe it's not all that uncommon for me to have a day like this, right? Maybe this happens, just happens from time to time. So what we're going to do is we're going to act out me shooting a basketball 20 times. And we're going to give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm really a 65% shooter. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. So if I'm a 65% shooter, what I'm going to make something, I'm going to do something called a simulation. That's my plan. And a simulation, what that means is we're going to use some kind of random event or something to act out a real life situation. Okay. Simulation, not unlike the Matrix, I guess, but much more crude. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say let the numbers 1 to 65 represent Dr. DeMarinis, it's my last name, scores. Okay. And then we're going to say the numbers from 66 to 100 represents Dr. DeMarinis misses. All right. So how do we feel about that? Does that seem reasonable to you? What I'm asking you to do here and what I'm going to do is, and maybe you're not quite sure yet where I'm heading with this. I'll explain in a minute. But I am representing 65%. So there's 100 numbers in total, and 65 of them represent that I get it in. So that's my 65%. And then if I look up here, I've got 66 to 100. That's 35 numbers, or 35% of the time I'm supposed to miss. Okay. Now, what I need to do now is pretend to take 20 shots. So that's going to be the next step. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I'll just give you a second to write this down if you'd like. I will do the same thing as I did last time. At the end of this session, at the end of the evening, I will post these notes for you so that you can look at them. You'll also have the recording. And Regina, the recording might be in two pieces. I think what I'll end up doing is we'll see, because I think when I take the break, I'm going to shut off the Zoom meet and then just restart my computer, because I think that
Okay,
will,
no problem.
so that'll happen. But I'll be very clear when we're going to take our break. We're going to do it around the same time as last time, maybe in a few minutes, about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and we'll take a break for like 20 minutes like we did last time. Okay. All right. So how are we going to do this? We've got to pretend to make me shoot the ball 20 times. So we're going to go back to Chrome or to a web browser. I go here and I'm going to type in random. Oops, except you got to type it right. Integer. And it should come up with a suggestion, random integer. Oops. Generator. That's what you want to search, random integer generator. So I want you to search that and see what happens. Okay. And the first link, hopefully what you get should be random.org. So let me know if you're having any kind of issues. I'm not hearing any issues yet, but just let me know if you're having any. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to click on this link that says random integer, and I'll land on random integer generator random.org. I land on this page. And right here, you'll notice the first thing it says part 1, the integers. And where it says generate, there's probably the number 100 in there. I want you to take that 100 and I want you to change it to a 20. Okay. And then in the second box, it says each integer should be a value between 1 and 100. We're going to leave that. And it says format in 5 columns. I'm going to leave it that way. All right, please let me know if you're having any technical issues with this. Okay. We're going to click get numbers. And you're going to get a table like this. All right, so do I need to help anybody? Anyone have any issues? Or no? Oop. Oh, where'd that glitched out? Hold on a second here. Let me do that again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy these numbers and I'm going to show you how we're planning to use these. There's the numbers. Even gives you a timestamp, which I think is kind of cool. All right, that takes care of that. There it is. Copy. You can see I've got a lag on my end. I just got to restart my computer, and I'll do that during the break, and it'll be better. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to paste this. And here you are. So what we need to do is go back for a minute to this page for just for a second. So in this page, we said the numbers 1 to 65 represent that Dr. D gets the shot in, and then 66 to 100 represents that I miss it. And so now here's where things are going to be different, because the random numbers I'm getting might be different than the random numbers you're getting. So for example, the first number I have here, you'll notice I have a 29. So I'm going to put a little check mark. That means I scored. Okay. 22 is the next number, right? 22 is between 1 and 65. So that also means I scored. Okay, here we go. This is pausing out on me. Hold on a second. There we go. 70. Now 70 is too big. So that's actually a miss, the 70. Because remember, the numbers from 1 to 65 represent that I got it in. So 98, too big. That's a miss. 91 is a miss. 13, score. 79, miss. 88, miss. 91, miss. 81, miss. Score, miss. Score, 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 score. So what I just did is I used random integer to pretend to shoot a ball 20 times. And you guys were giving me the benefit of the doubt that I'm really a 65% shooter. And if that's the case, how many did I get in here? Let's count them up. Ready? You can count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I had 12 out of 20 in. Okay. So what you'll notice is, if we think about the original problem here, I can tell you what didn't happen. I didn't get 4 out of 20 in, right? We went down to the gym and Jillian, I'm beginning to think your idea is very good. Jillian said she probably doesn't believe me that I'm a 65% shooter, because if I'm going to shoot 20 shots and I'm really a 65% shooter, then I probably shouldn't only get 4 in. So that's the reasoning we're dealing with here. So what we did is we built a simulation. We let the numbers from 1 to 65 represent that I get a score. 66 to 100 represents that I'm missing that score. And what I'm doing here is I am pretending to shoot the ball 20 times. And in this particular example, this particular trial, I got 12 in. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go back. Ready? Let's go back to random.org for a minute. And let's do this again together. So I'm going to click again, just click again here, and I'll get brand new numbers. Let's use my snipping tool here to take these over and do the same thing I did a moment ago. So here we are. There's the numbers. We'll copy them. Okay, I'll click this copy button here. Okay, so there we are. Let's go back to my notes and let's paste them. Okay, so let's see what happened now. So I'm gonna write either a check. So I made it. Pen's not working there. Okay, so this is a check. I got it in. A miss. A miss. Got it in. Miss. In. Miss. In. Miss. In. Miss. In. Miss. In. Miss. Let's count them up. Let's see how many I got in. I got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 20 again. Okay. So notice I've gone to the gym twice now, and both times I got 12 out of 20. I did not get 4 out of 20. Okay. So here's what I'd like to do at this point. What I would like is, first of all, I want to know, do you feel like you could do a simulation on your own? Do you feel like you could do this for me? Like go to random int, get 20 numbers and count up how many you got in. Jillian, what do you think? Do you think you can do it without me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Suzanne, I see your thumbs up. Thank you. How about you, William? Do you think you know what to do?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And how about Regina? Do you feel like you could do it?
I'm gonna try. I get nervous when I get around a lot of numbers.
You're going to be fine. Go to random.org and I'll go over it again, what to do. How about Adriana and Andrea? How do both of you feel?
I'm good.
Good, good. So here we go, random.org. You know what I'll do for Regina? I'll show you again where we start. So from random.org. Okay, let me just click that for a minute. This is how it starts off. This is usually the page you end up on. All right, so let me know if you have any trouble finding it.
No, I got it.
Good. Where it says generate, make sure that number there is a 20. It probably 100.
Generate?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I can't see what says generate. Random integrated generator. Let me see. No, I don't have that. Let me see.
Oh, you mean we're actually searching it? That kind of thing? Here, I'll show you.
I'm looking for, I don't see it. I'm on the page, but I don't see random number generator. Let me see.
All right, so does it look like my screen? Or you passed this? You're already over.
No.
Let's see if you're on this page. Does it look like that page?
No, it says random or random integrated. No, it doesn't say that.
Okay, so
It
let's do
says the
this.
truth about randomness or something like that.
Oh, okay. I know where you ended up. So I want you to go back to like Google if that's what you use or whatever.
Okay, I'm not
search
on.
engine.
Okay, go to Google. Okay.
Type in, you could type in what I typed in, random integer generator. Okay, while I'm helping
Random.
Regina, your integer generator. For the rest of you, what I'd like you to do is use the random integer generator like we just did and do it like 4 or 5 times. And in a little bit, I'm going to say to one of you, I'm going to say, Jillian, tell me what happened. And you're going to say something like this, Jillian. You're going to say, first time you got 13 out of 20. And the second time you got 15 out of 20. The third time you got 12 out of 20. And the fourth time you got like 7 out of 20. That's what you're going to say to me. Something like that. Regina, can you see where it says random integer generator?
It says part 1, the integers. Part 2, go.
Yeah, hit enter. Let's see what we got. Does it show this random integer generator like random.org?
Wait a
Or no?
minute.
Oh, you know what? I have an even better idea. Watch what I'm going to do for you. You're going to like this. I don't know why I didn't just do this in the beginning. I should have thought of this.
That I have.
Oh, you do? You're on this page?
Yeah, I have that. Let me see.
Great. You're in a perfect spot. So notice how it starts
Part
off
1
with,
and part 2, right? Yep.
yep. So where it says part 1, where it says generate 100, I'd like you to change that number 100 to the number 20.
Mhm.
And that's it. The rest of it is good. It should say on the second line from 1 to 100, you should leave that. And on the third
And
line,
formatted 5 column.
correct. Yep. And then just click get numbers and you'll get a list of numbers.
Yes, it says 14. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to have different numbers for me, which is sort of cool with this website.
Okay.
Like it's pretty good at generating different numbers. So what I'm going to show you now is what we're going to do with those numbers. So I'm just waiting for this thing to do its thing. Here we go. All right. Who knew this website advertises true random number service? It's kind of funny, actually. Let's click this, copying that. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here. Notes.
Professor, you don't want me to do this, right? You just want me to.
You could just watch me do this. This is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Control V. Paste these numbers in. There they are. So in this case, for example, remember the numbers 1 to 65 represent that I got the shot in, and then 66 to 100 means I miss. So the 38, I got it in. 68 is a miss. 12 is in. So is 43. So is 34. 2. 69 is bigger than 65, so that's a miss. 10 is in. 12 is in. 47. 7, 4 are all in. 83 is bigger than 66, or 66 or bigger, so that's a miss there. That's a miss. Okay. What else do we have? 36 is in. 70 is a miss. 96 is a miss. 24 is in. 93 is a miss. Sorry about that. 15 is in, and 88 is a miss. So Bear with me for 1 second. Just gotta erase that. Some kind of error there. Just want to check that off. So far, what happened? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in. 13 out of 20. Yeah. So that's like whatever. Okay. So let's see what happens now. All right. So this is how we're gonna finish up this part of the lesson. Jillian, were you able to get this to work?
Yes.
Okay, so on your first try, so in my case, let me just tell everyone what happened. So in my case, the first time I did it, I got 12 in. Second time was 12 in. Third time was 13 in. So far we have the numbers 12. We've got a 12, and a 13. Okay, sorry about that. Desperately need to restart this thing. Okay. So Jillian, what numbers did you get in?
Like total?
Well, no, each time. So like when you did it the first time out of 20, how many did you get in?
I got an 11.
11. Makes sense. And then what happened after that?
Then I got in 13.
And then what else?
And then I got in 14.
Okay, great. Thank you. How about you, William? Did you get it to work out?
Yeah, I got 11 out of 20, then 12
Uh-huh.
out of 20, 9 out of 20, and then 13 out of 20.
I got to tell you, William, when I saw that 9, oops, sorry about that. When I saw that 9 for a minute, I was kind of happy. I was like, oh, he's got a low number. You didn't get 4 in though. I was hoping you'd get a 4 in. You know why? Because if you had a 4 in, then I'd be like, look, you see, it could happen. And then I would tell you that Jillian was wrong and I didn't lie. Because I could be a 65% shooter, but still only get 4 in. But so far, Jillian, all this stuff is proving that you're correct because not one of you have gotten only 4 in yet. How about Adriana? How many did you get in? Did it work for you? I should ask you that first.
No, it's not working for me.
No, all right. What issues you're having?
Yeah, I think it's just my computer, to be honest. I'm not.
No
not
worries.
having the best internet today.
That's it. Mine's really slow. I'm hoping when I reboot that something will get better. Andrew, were you able to get it to work? All right. So here's what I'm going to say, right? And Suzanne, how about you? Did you get it to work?
Yeah, I got it to work.
Oh, what numbers did you get? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got 10,
Okay.
16,
Uh-huh.
9. I did
Right.
5 in all, so and then I got 12 and 10.
Oh my God. So hold on, I'm just trying to get rid of that red thing that just jumped onto my screen. So am I correct? It was 10, 16, what'd you
9,
say? 9, 12, and 10,
12
right?
and 10. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to sound dramatic. Suzanne, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping you were going to get 4 for me. Thank you for laughing, Suzanne. Now you're encouraging me. You guys are going to get a taste of my like bad sense of humor now. I was really hoping for a 4 here from one of you. It didn't happen. So, Jillian, I claim that now, even though I said I was a 65% shooter, that all of you can use this as evidence to say that I must be lying. I said I was a 65% shooter. We went down to the gym. I only got 4 out of 20 in. My question to the class is, how come all these numbers here prove that I must be lying about my shooting percentage? That's my question to the class.
Because they're all pretty much consistent.
Yeah, and what number is not here at all ever?
4.
Yeah, there's no 4 here, right? So the reality is, according to this, so let me write a sentence that sort of summarizes this all up. If Dr. D, we're just going to call me Dr. D for now, is really, yeah, this is my screen wigging out, a 65% shooter. then according to this data, I tried to write it, I'm just going to say it. So if I am really a 65% shooter, then according to our trials, our simulation, I should never get only 4 in. So let's think about that. If I'm really a 65% shooter, then I should really never get only 4 in. Therefore, I must be lying about the 65%. How do you feel about that reasoning?
I agree with it.
You agree with it? Anyone want to add any comments to it or want to ask me anything about it?
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. The sentence would be, well, let me try to say it correctly again. So if I'm really a 65% shooter,
Mhm.
then our simulation tells us that I would never get only 4 in.
I wouldn't say never.
Who's Jillian? How about I change the language? Ready? I think you'll like this better. And this is, I got to tell you something. I love it when people challenge the way I say things. Really important to the class. So, what would you say instead, Jillian?
I would say that most of the time you shouldn't get only 4 in.
I love it. That's even better. Okay. So, ready? Let's write another sentence. If Dr. DeMarinis is really a 65% shooter, then most of the time he will not get only, he'll get more than 4 in. We can say it that way, right, Jillian? How do you feel about that?
Perfect.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad she's happy. I'm going to say it one more time, a different way, slightly different. Watch this. Ready? If Dr. DeMarinis is really a 65% shooter, then the likelihood that he gets only 4 out of 20 in is extremely low. What do you think of that reasoning, Jillian?
I would agree.
Oh, I feel much less nervous now. Andrea, Adriana, Suzanne, William, anyone want to make any comments about that reasoning? So I'm going to say this. I mean, this is at the heart of statistics. This is what statistics is all about. So quick question. Have any of you heard of anything called a p-value before in the past? A p-value. Okay, maybe you haven't heard of it, but a p-value is the probability of observing something or something as rare or more rare than that event. In this particular case, the p-value, the probability of me getting 4 out of 20 in based on our simulation is still 0, Jillian. Now, in reality, if we did more simulations and we kept going back to random.org, I think eventually you would get a 4 out of 20 in, but I think it's going to take a while. That's what I think. All right. So it's kind of hard to do because the best you guys did, you guys got 9 in. That was the lowest number you got. We kept going back to that website. Eventually, we might only get 4 in. So let me press again here on my page. So I click again here, only 4 in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was only 9 in. Hey, that was like you guys. I tied William and somebody else. Let's click again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's way too many. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3. No. 4, 5. No, no, no. No, no, no. 6. No. 7, 8. No. 9, 10. Oh, it was looking so good. Let's do it one more time. No, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. This isn't happening. I'm not getting only 4 in. So Julian, I'm going to say it's really rare to get only 4 in if I'm really a 65% shooter. So I think you're right. I think the conclusion we should make is that it shouldn't happen. And therefore, Dr. D is not really a 65% shooter because we observed him getting 4 out of 20 in. And according to this simulation, that's very, very rare to occur. So we're going to have to doubt him. Okay. All right. That's a good place for a break. It is 7:30. Let's come back at 7:50. Okay. I'm going to close out the Zoom meeting because I want to restart this computer and I'll save this recording and so forth. So that will mean that you'll get bumped out, but you can come back in going back to Canvas. Okay. So I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Sound good? Just say yes. Lie to me. Say yes. It sounds good.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what a wonderful group. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.